All right, so you asked us to dig into a specific case of serious analysis paralysis. Two ultra-wide monitors,
Hmm.
the Xiaomi G34WQi and the Lenovo G34W30. They look almost identical on paper.
Yeah, identical twins, almost. It's a fascinating comparison, really. It forces you to look past the spec sheet sometimes.
Okay, so let's establish that baseline. What's shared here?
Right, well, the core stuff is the same. Both are 34-inch curved VA panels. You get that 3440 by 1440 resolution, a 1500R curve, which is pretty standard.
Hmm.
They both claim a 1 millisecond response time, 350 nits brightness, and support for FreeSync Premium and HDR10. So fundamentally, you're looking at very, very similar hardware.
Okay, very similar. But there is one tiny spec difference people might notice first, the refresh rate.
Ah, yes. The Xiaomi hits 180 hertz natively. The Lenovo does 165 hertz natively, but you can overclock it to 170 hertz.
So 180 versus 170. Now, our sources were pretty clear on this, weren't they?
Oh, absolutely unanimous. That 10 hertz difference. It's statistically irrelevant in practice. Like,
Yeah.
zero chance a normal human can perceive that difference in smoothness.
Right. So let's just, put that aside immediately. It's not a deciding factor.
Exactly. Don't get hung up on it. If the core tech is basically a wash, then the next logical place to look is, well, the price.
And this is where things get pretty interesting. The Xiaomi G34WQi, you can generally find it for around $290.
Mm-hmm. Quite affordable for the specs.
But the Lenovo G34W30, it's typically in the $350 to $400 range. So you're looking at paying, what, $60 to $110 more?
Yep, a significant jump. And the big question is, what does that extra money actually buy you?
Okay, what does it buy you?
Primarily, built-in speakers, dual 3-watt speakers on the Lenovo.
Monitor speakers.
Monitor speakers, which, let's be honest, are almost universally terrible.
Yeah.
Our sources basically called them the audio equivalent of a tin can telephone.
Okay, so not exactly a selling point for anyone serious about audio.
Not at all. If you're gaming, watching movies, doing anything where sound matters, you're going to use headphones or dedicated desktop speakers. Paying extra for these built-in ones is, well, it's paying for something you likely won't, or shouldn't, use.
So you're paying more, getting effectively useless speakers. You'd assume maybe the Lenovo makes up for it somewhere else, like core performance.
You'd think so. But here's the real kicker. When you look at a metric that really matters for visual quality, color accuracy, the cheaper Xiaomi actually performs better.
Wait, really? Better color on the cheaper model?
Significantly better, right out of the box. The Xiaomi covers 100% of the sRGB color space. That's perfect for standard web content and most games.
Okay, 100% RGB is good.
And it hits 95% of the DCI-P3 space, which is the wider gamut used in HDR content and film production. That's genuinely impressive for a monitor at this price.
And didn't the Xiaomi come with something extra regarding color?
It did. Xiaomi includes a factory color calibration report in the box for each specific unit. It shows the measured delta E value, basically, how accurate the colors are. Lower is better.
So they're actually proving the color accuracy. That's unusual for a budget monitor.
Very unusual. It shows a certain confidence in their panel quality control. Now, compare that to the Lenovo. It hits 124% RGB.
Which sounds bigger, but isn't always better, right?
Exactly. Oversaturation is the issue here. Hitting over 100% RGB means colors can look artificial, almost cartoonish, because it's displaying colors outside the intended range for standard content. The Xiaomi is more accurate, more truthful to the source.
Okay, so Xiaomi wins on price and color accuracy. Are there any shared downsides we need to mention? They're both VA panels.
Right, and that comes with the usual VA caveats. You will see some ghosting or smearing, especially in dark scenes during fast motion. It's just inherent to how VA pixels transition, particularly from dark to light shades.
Mm-hmm. The VA smear.
And also, viewing angles aren't as good as IPS. You'll see some color shift if you're looking at the screen from way off to the side. And the HDR performance on both is, well, basic HDR10. Don't expect miracles there.
So that ghosting, is it a deal breaker or just the compromise you accept at this price point?
It's largely the standard compromise for VA panels in this budget category, unless you're maybe a hyper-competitive esports player needing absolute clarity in dark areas. For most gamers, the value and the color accuracy here likely outweigh the typical VA ghosting. You just can't get perfection under $300.
Gotcha. Okay, let's quickly touch on the physical stuff. Stands, connectivity.
Sure. The Xiaomi stand is apparently lighter, maybe a bit easier to put together. The Lenovo stand is described as sturdier, but interestingly, some users reported a bit of wobble with it.
Okay. But Both are Visa mountable.
Yes, standard Visa mounting on both, so you can ditch the included stand if you want, which is always good.
And ports, any differences there?
Nope, identical. You get 2 DisplayPort 1.4 inputs, 2 HDMI 2.0 inputs, and a headphone jack. No USB hub on either model.
Okay, and the crucial bit here for gamers. You need DisplayPort for the full speed, right?
Absolutely critical point. HDMI 2.0 on both these monitors limits you to 100 Hz at the native resolution. To get that 180 Hz on the Xiaomi or 170 Hz on the Lenovo, you must use DisplayPort 1.4.
Right, don't get caught out by using the wrong cable. Okay, so wrapping this all up, the verdict seems pretty clear here.
It really does. The Xiaomi G34WQi for around $290 gives you essentially the same core gaming experience as the more expensive Lenovo, but crucially, it adds better, more accurate color reproduction out of the box.
So despite being cheaper, it actually performs better in a key visual metric. It really punches above its weight.
Definitely. And I think this comparison highlights something important for anyone buying tech.
What is that?
Sometimes paying more, maybe for a familiar brand name or for features you don't actually need, like those speakers, can mean you end up with worse performance in areas that genuinely matter, like color accuracy. You paid more, got less of what counts.
It really makes you question if you're trusting the price tag or if you actually understand what delivers true value for your specific needs. Don't just assume more expensive means better across the board. Know what specs matter to you.